Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Ochel, and I work at the Center for International Education at the College of Charleston. We are joined today with Isaac from Cape Coast University in Ghana, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what it would be like to be an exchange student at Cape Coast. So can we start off with you telling us a little bit more about yourself, about Cape Coast University, and what your role is at the university?
Okay, thank you, Melissa. So, hi everyone, my name is Isaac. I work at the Center for International Education of the University of Cape Coast. My primary role, which may be of use to you, is that I'm in charge of all inbound students and outbound exchange students. So I work on the applications and all that kind of stuff. Down here at the University of Cape Coast as well. So if you don't know, the University of Cape Coast is situated in Cape Coast, which is a city in Ghana, the country Ghana, which is in West Africa. The university is one of the, I guess, rarest universities that is located by right in front of the just by the ocean, basically. So we have the Atlantic Ocean, which is about 100 meters from one of our gates. So it's right there, you can see the ocean. It is now ranked the #1 university in Ghana and West Africa by the higher education world ranking, just this last week, yeah. So now the #1 university in Ghana and West Africa, and 4th in Africa, all of West Africa, and one of the leading universities in research, impact of research as well. So yeah, that is the University of Cape Coast. We are one of the pioneers in research as well as education. It was initially established in 1962 as a college of education to train teachers for the senior high schools or secondary schools in Ghana. And then with time, it gained the autonomy to award degrees in other disciplines as well, and the university has grown from then. So we have several disciplines. We have 5 colleges, we have 18 schools and faculties, and over 100 departments. I don't know if I could say, I could say a whole lot more if there was time, but yeah.
How many students, Isaac?
Currently, we have over 80,000 students. Now, it's not just undergraduate students, so that's undergraduate, postgraduate. We have what we call a distance education program. So people who live in other parts of the country are able to go to centers in wherever part of the country, whichever part of the country they may find themselves, and are able to take their quizzes or assignments or whatever. And there's a college that is in charge of that. So we have distance students, we have sandwich students. Sandwich is basically like your summer program or summer school, which is usually between the two. The end is at the end of the second semester, and it ends just before the first semester. So it's in between June and July. And that is also for adults who are unable to be in school for 2 years, 3 years. They take leave of absence from work for a month or 2, and are here on campus to do 2 months intensive academic work. So we have different programs going on, and the number of students are just over 80,000 for all of these.
And what are some of the most popular areas of study for incoming exchange students?
Well, off the top of my head, we have a very, I would say, hot department or center. African Studies is one of the hottest disciplines that exchange students want to go into. So you have a lot of our exchange students taking courses from African Studies. Music and dance as well, because they have some courses in Ghanaian traditional dance and art forms that is of huge interest to incoming exchange students. We've had students take a lot of courses in sociology as well and religion. Yeah, but the They are exchange students are able to take courses from across the various disciplines except what we call it, law and medicine. But they're able to take course, and one student can take a course of sociology and religion. So they are not limited to taking a course in one particular discipline. They are able to take courses from other disciplines and get a feel for everything, basically, if they have some background knowledge in it. Yes.
Great. Yeah, our students like to take a variety of classes, so that's good. Can you talk a little bit, Isaac, about housing on campus?
So currently, we have an agreement with a hostel. Well, it's not a hostel. It's a housing facility that is like within the campus, just about the northwestish part of campus. We call it the superannuation hall. It's probably the biggest housing facility we have on campus. So all of our international students are staying there at the moment. So our exchange students, until something changes, all of our exchange students will find themselves at the superannuation hall. It's already reserved, so as soon as we get your application and everything, that's where you'll be staying. You only have to pay your housing fee. It has two people would share a room, and that room would have like a toilet and a bath and a kitchen. So it's two people in one room, and it's quite a huge room as well. And you get some amenities, and you get curtains, you get I think cooking, what do you call it, an electric cooker, and some utensils to aid you, and buckets and stuff like that. Common things you use in the you would find in your household to aid the students settling as quickly as possible so that they can buy the extras whenever they want to. So yeah, that's superannuation hall. There's a shuttle bus that runs from campus to the hall all the time during the day. So if students are staying there, they can always get a shuttle or a bus to campus to do the academic work and take the bus back. There's also an option, the homestay is also an option. So far, we've not had exchange students opt for homestay. I think maybe it's because of the fee. It might end up being more expensive than staying in the hall because the family would have to feed you and all that, so it can be expensive. But so no one has taken up that option, but it's an option if you want to stay with a Ghanaian family on campus throughout the period of your stay.
Great.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what happens when a new exchange student arrives and what orientation is like?
Okay. So basically, when you've received as an exchange student coming to UCC, when you've received your admission letter, we send you a form, the arrival and departure form, which you are supposed to complete and send to us before you come. So we normally schedule an airport pickup for all of our exchange students. And it's given the date. So we usually advise that students hold on with bookings until they've received the admission letters and all these forms. So you get to know the date you're expected to arrive so that you can complete the form with it. We will pick all of the incoming students on the same day from the airport and bring them to campus. Unless, of course, the students decide they want to do their own thing, but it's not recommended. So we bring you to campus and we take you straight to the superannuation hall where you'll be staying. You get shown where you can buy food, because usually we bring them in on Saturday, sometimes Sunday as well. And orientation will start the Monday. So you'll be shown around where you can get food and water and some of these things for that one day. And then on the Monday, or that following week, the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have orientation. So basically, the first thing we do on the Monday is take you on a tour of campus straight from your hall or your housing facility, so you get to know how it relates to all the other parts of campus, right? So that would be the central point that we take you around campus to see what is where the academic site is, where other students stay, where you can get a taxi, where you can buy food, all of that. So we show you around campus, and then we come back to the office, have breakfast. If you already haven't had breakfast, maybe some snacks. And then we talk a lot about all the important things. So getting to know Ghana, what you can do, what you cannot do, the people, academic life, security on campus, health. We talk about all this important stuff. And even the things that we do not have scheduled to talk about, you are able to ask questions on. So I think by Wednesday, students are free to ask questions on anything else that we may not have touched on. We take a tour of the university library so students know how to access the resources over there. We take students to town, the downtown of Cape Coast, so they get to know what is where in town as well, and how they can get to campus from town, or go to whenever they want to go to town, how they'll be able to get to their particular place, and where to buy what, and all of that kind of stuff. So we do all that in the first 3 days, and then the Thursday we take them on a tour of two very important tourist sites in Cape Coast. So we have one of the slave castles in Cape Coast we go to, and then there's this fun place where we have suspension bridges on top of like some of the tallest trees you'll find in the world. And it's called the Kaku National Park. So we take the students there to have some fun. And then we sit down on Friday to start working on academic registration, course registration and stuff. So that's one full week for orientation. Yeah.
Right. You talked a little bit how the students can take classes from any discipline. What are the actual classes like? Are they discussion based, lecture based? What's homework like?
Homework. I don't know the last time I had homework. Yeah, so classes are it's either ways. You could have, depending on the nature of the discipline, I guess, or the discipline you're involved in, you could have a lot of lab work. You could have a lot of lecture where professor comes in with some notes that you have to jot down and then do your own work later on. Some of the classes you also have to do a lot of research on your own. What we do have is that we have the lecturer has what we call a teaching assistant, who is supposed to aid the students, with everything concerning class as well. But we also have, discussion-based, well, not necessarily in the class, but we do have assignments given to groups, assigned to groups. So you can have a class divided into several groups, and you'll be given specific assignments, and you will have to meet as a group to have discussions on whatever you've been assigned to do, and then present it as a group. If you do not participate, you don't get grades for it. You have a lot of students engaged in group studies, which is not necessarily tied to an assignment. They may decide to form a group where they can sit, have discussions on whatever they studied in class, and make sure everybody in that group is on the same page. We have a lot of that. So we have what we call summer hats all over campus, where some of these students always meet under and have discussions, sometimes during the weekend, sometimes during the week. So that is there. And then we have quizzes and assignments. So we do have two ways of grading students. We have the class assessment, and then we have the end of semester exams. So the class assessment is basically 40 marks of your total, right? Class assessment could be 2 quizzes. It could be announced or unannounced quizzes. So that keeps students on their toes. It could be a quiz and an assignment, or just assignments, everything assignments basically for the 40 marks. Whatever the lecturer decides to do. They would put it down in what we call the course outline. So you'll be given a course outline at the beginning of the class. So you get to know, what the class would look like. Am I going to do announced quizzes? Am I going to do unannounced quizzes? Am I going to have assignments? You get to know all of that. at the very beginning of the class. And then, of course, you have exams at the end of the semester, which gives you 60 marks.
How do exchange students meet friends? How do they get involved on campus?
Well, so I'm thinking we are talking about like associations, clubs, stuff like that. Yes, we do have them too. There's several, I think over 93 clubs and associations, officially registered clubs and associations on campus. So you'll be able to, as a student, get involved in any of these associations if you want, basically. It is easy to know these associations. It is easier to know which association suits you when you talk to your classmates, because of course you make friends in class. It's highly recommended. So you can ask your friends in class some of these associations. They would probably even invite you to the associations and clubs. As soon as they meet a new friend, they'll be inviting you to stuff like church and all that kind of stuff. So there's so much by way of socialization going on that the students could get involved in. We've had students who have been involved in choir activities, singing. We've had students who have been involved in music and performance-related associations and performed for other students to see. It's everywhere. So, and of course, as an office, we could always assist you with contacting the dean of students for like what associations and clubs exist, so you can choose which one you want to belong to. They have sporting activities that you could be a part of. We've had exchange students who have been part of teams, not just playing the sport for fun, but teams. We had 2 females from Sweden, if I'm not mistaken, about 4 or 5 years ago, who were part of one of the traditional halls, female soccer team, and they went on to win the competition, the soccer competition between the halls. We had Anaya from University of Georgia. She was part of the volleyball team for Guam Hall. They won with her in the team. So yes, you can be involved in so many other social activities on campus. As an office, we also are tied to an international student association, and that's made up of all manner of international students from all parts of the world. So automatically, once you are admitted here, you are a member of that association. And so whenever they have socialization events, you are supposed to be a part of it. So you meet other international students there as well. The office itself also organizes socialization events twice in a year. So one in each semester, where you go and hang out at like a beach resort or a hotel somewhere or tourist site somewhere to have fun. So basically all of us will be there, all international students and the staff at the office will all be at one place having fun for one weekend and returning. So there are so many ways of students meeting people and socializing, basically. Yeah.
Great. How do students get around the city?
Mostly by taxis.
Taxis, okay.
That's the most common transportation. Of course, if you still want to buy a bicycle and ride and exercise, because it's quite a distance. Well, it's not too far from town, isn't too far from campus. It's just about 10 to 15 minutes drive from campus to town. So a bicycle ride will probably be maybe 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how strong the person is in the legs, if you could buy a bicycle, the only issue with the bicycle is, being secure with it. Where do you secure your bicycle? Being safety conscious when you're on the road with other drivers and all that. But you could totally get a bicycle as well. But mostly it's taxis. And then on campus, you have the taxis and the buses, the shuttle buses.
Are there shops and restaurants near campus, or do they need to go into town for that?
They are on campus. I can, off the top of my head, there are about 4 restaurants that students could buy food. And they are all within a certain area. So we have the Sasakawa restaurant, we have the School of Business restaurant, Institute restaurant. Then we have a clubhouse that has a restaurant. The clubhouse itself is not open to students. but they have an attached restaurant that students can go to. And just before the clubhouse itself, there's this place there where they sell coffee. So if a student is up for an early morning coffee, they can always walk up to the clubhouse to get one. The university has created a market just on the side of the new science block. We call it the science market. So students can walk in there and buy virtually anything. The number of marts and smaller shops just on the edges of campus, some within campus where you can get anything from a can of milk to bags of water to anything, basically anything you eat, spaghetti, those kind of stuff, yes. And then of course, if you want to go to town to get stuff, of course there are a lot of other shops in town as well. But normally you'll be able to get everything on campus that you need. Yeah.
What is a must-do or must-see thing while studying at Cape Coast?
Ooh. Does that include everything?
Everything.
Okay, so Cape Coast is kind of a touristy city because of the castle and the kind of people I told you about. And then of course it's the relationship with the transatlantic slave trade. So you do have a number of beach resorts and restaurants. Several of them we have. There's this place in town by a gas station that has live band music from Wednesdays to Sundays, and it's on every single day except Mondays and Tuesdays. So you can go sit there, eat, drink, listen to some traditional Ghanaian music being played by a live band. That is cool. They have pizza there as well. There's another one called the K. They also have pizza. It's a nice place to go sit. There's the Castle Restaurant, which is just by the castle, and you sit there and you see the ocean, right? And with the ocean breeze coming on to you, and it's a nice place to go to. We have the several beach resorts like the Oasis Beach Resorts, the Breeze, the Almina Beach, which is a hotel, but it's a beach resort as well. There's a swimming pool there. You can go, to the bar, buy a drink, go to the pool. Of course, we don't allow students to swim in the oceans. It can be quite dangerous. So we do not allow students. There's a university policy not to allow students to swim, but you can always go to the pool. There are several beach resorts on campus. Then there is this place called Hans Cottage Hotel, which is on the way to Kakum National Park. It's about 15 minutes drive from, I would say, campus, right? What do you call it? They have bird watching. It's a restaurant. They have bird watching. They have crocodiles. Yeah. So you can go see that. You can see what the birds. You can go sit on a crocodile. Yeah, for it. If you want to do the canoe ride, you could. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going on there. So you could go to hospital and do that. And usually the crocodile, stuff is up north, further up north in the country, but those are huge crocodiles, basically. The ones we have at hospital, they are still big. I mean, I've not dared to sit on one of them because they're that big. So yeah, that's one of the things you could also do whilst you are here. So there's so many things to do with pictures, to be fair. There's a vegetarian restaurant in town for those who might be interested. One of my exchange students, recently recommended a place that I didn't know. The town has some of the things that American and Europeans usually look out for, which you may not necessarily find in other shops in town. So there's that as well. So now we even add that to our orientation. We tell the students about this particular shop where they can get cheese and all that kind of stuff that they would normally want from back home. So there's a lot to do, but mostly entertainment. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Isaac. This was really helpful to help our students get to know more about Cape Coast. Thank you for joining me this afternoon for you. And hope we'll have more students in Cape Coast very soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. But it's a good opportunity for us to reach out to your students as well. It's one of the things maybe we should be doing more often. So we are open whenever you need us to come on board and do these things. We are up for it. Just let us know.
Thank you. Thank you, Isaac. Bye. Good to see you.
Bye.